finals here promise to be much more realistic than those at the Moscow regatta. And this British crew, all from the Kingston Rowing Club, alongside the East Germans in lane 4. The full lineup from the bottom of the picture: in lane 1, Czechoslovakia; lane 2, Australia; lane 3, Great Britain; lane 4, the German Democratic Republic, East Germany; lane 5, America; and lane 6 at the top, the Soviet Union. Away we go, and the British boys know that they can't afford to get headed in the first few hundred metres of this final. They've got to attack from the front and stay in contention, and at this moment they have a lead of about half a canvas, but a long, long way to go. But clearly rowing to instructions. They've got to go off really strong and attack from the front. East German crew, a new assembly from that which took the gold medal in Moscow last year. But this is a marvellous start by the British boys. Looking at them there in the middle, in lane 3, in the bow, it's the Honourable James Taylor Suenson. At 2, Peter Hope. At 3, Andrew Holmes. The stroke is Paul Reynolds, and the cox at the front, you'll see his head from time to time, little Mark Warner. Well, they were looking to stroke at about 46 at the start for the first minute, and then drop back to around 40, and finally settle for an average of about 36. And this is all they could have hoped for. A lead of half a length on the Soviet crew on the far side. And the East Germans perhaps back in 4th or 5th place at this stage. This is the crew that is our national champions and which won the Prince Philip Challenge Cup at Henley, and which won 2 of the events at the Ratsburgs Regatta in June. And there's the lead, a lead of just under 2 seconds for Great Britain at this stage over, it said on that caption, the Soviet Union. Rather, it said the USA, but I think it's the Soviet Union in lane 6 who are in second place. Well, now a lead of a length for the British boys here in the final of the coxed fours, and is this going to be an absolute dream start to this finals day in Munich? 4 crews through to the finals. We had 4 crews through in 1979 in the World Championships, but only had to settle for a bronze medal. But there are high hopes here today of a silver from the 8, perhaps a bronze from the single sculler, Chris Baillieu. And although the coxed fours were thought to have achieved their best merely by getting through to the final, they've gone off at a right rate of knots. A full lead of a length for the British coxed four. Still the Soviets in lane 6 on the far side, in second place. Now at the halfway stage, 1,000 metres, and this is the place where the crews will have varying instructions to put in a burn and to put in an extra spurt of effort and to lift the stroking rate. And it seems that the Soviets on the far side and the East Germans in lane 4 are doing so. The British lead now down to half a length, and this is where the going gets hard. No doubt at all that the Soviet crew on the far side have put in a bit of extra effort and are now hauling back. 1.2 seconds the lead, but you can see it more visually in the length of the boat. And it's now down to about a canvas, with the East Germans coming back also, and the American crew in lane 5 also beginning to get on terms. Well, the British boys have lifted the strike rate again, trying to retain that lead, but it's hard going. Well aware of the challenge on their right-hand side. And now it's neck and neck, Great Britain and the Soviet Union in lane 6. East Germany still half a canvas down, and America in lane 5 also beginning to challenge, but well now within sight of the finish. Approaching the 500 metres to go mark, and it's the Soviets who've gone ahead. East Germany now second, and Britain in bronze medal place. And can they stay there? Well, what has the British crew saved for this final push for the line? Now within the shadow of this giant grandstand here, which is casting a very small shadow on the water, although not enough to give a distinct advantage today, as the wind has died away almost completely. This is the Soviet crew that were the Olympic silver medalists in Moscow, unchanged apart from the inclusion of one new man. And headed here by the East Germans. Well, although East Germany took the gold medal in Moscow, that crew has now been broken up, and they've assembled a new crew from the crew of the Eights, which also took the gold medal in Moscow. East Germany in gold medal place, the Soviet Union in silver, America in bronze, just ahead of Great Britain. The view from behind of the East German coxed 4, now inside the last 250 metres, in sight of the gold medal. The Soviets in lane 6 will take the silver, and it looks as though America in lane 5 will pip Great Britain for the bronze, because the British crew are dying. They're not in the picture, but the effort has begun to tell, and they're now back in 5th place. And it's the Czechs in lane 1 who've moved up to 4th. East Germany will certainly take the gold, but will America take the silver? A neck-and-neck race, America and the Soviet Union for the silver. No doubt East Germany takes the gold, and it's the American crew, the new American crew, who take the silver, and the Soviet Union who take the bronze, and Britain finally finishing in 5th place. Well, let's not take anything away from this crew from the Kingston Rowing Club, a marvellous row, heading the race over the first 1,000 metres, but in the end, not enough experience to stay in contention for the medals. And so it's these Germans who celebrate the gold. America has taken the silver, and the Soviet Union the bronze. East Germany ahead by about a length at the finish, and the new crew from America taking the silver by about 3/4 of a canvas.